Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday, October the 23rd. The year's 2020. Let's talk trading. Time for the weekly wrap up. You should know by now, unless this is your first time, that these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. For the week, all the gaps filled. And you can see that the pound is 134 pips above the open, 151 off the high, and 151 off the high, and 135 off the low. But there really wasn't much of a low. It just shot up for the week. Looking here, you can see we just touched the top of the opening range for the week. That first day of the week puts in that opening range. And you can see we came back down and touched it and bounced off it by a few pips. For the pound, we're 218 pips below the open, and we're 115 pips above the monthly open. And we had an inside bar yesterday. We shot out of it at 70, down 42 pips from that level. And there was some other inside bar action here to trade today. Range, we've got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 pairs over 100 pip range. And you can see the pound broke the previous day's low. Buy zone, we had a pivot point here, so ignore the shorts if you use that as a bias. And you see we took a long trade, hit the pivot, gave it a second opportunity. Here were a couple of short opportunities, and there was the big short. Green rats, 103 pips of range. Maybe the green rats get the feast once again. You see that the red rats already feasted a couple times. Green rats had one nice feast here. Might be able to get another one in before the day is over. In fact, I had a trader send me an email, a nice email, said that after he found my videos, at least I'm assuming it's a he, I'm not sure, it could be a she or could be a non-binary trader, I don't know. Anyway, that after watching my videos, they finally became profitable. I think that might be due to the fact that these are very simple trades. It's nothing complicated here. You know, frequency distributions, that name might scare you. A couple of big words there. Frequency, distribution, 3 and 4 syllable words. Scares some people, but it's still something very simple. Statistical trades, and we probably talk about it ad nauseum, making sure you have your risk management, money management in place on your trades. Focus on your trades. You trade one method, trade one pair. I mean, you're probably going to get good if you do that. It's like, what was it? I forget who said it, but, I fear the man that has only one gun because he practices with it, as opposed to somebody's got a dozen or more. You get to know your tool, your instrument. And looking at the pivot, once again, we did take out that pivot. We took out the weekly pivot early in the week, and today we took out the daily pivot and retraced. So you see where price opened, came up, hit the pivot, actually shot through it, and then came right back down. A wick zone, very small wick zone on the previous day, but in and out. Once again, when it's this small, price is probably not going to stay in it for long. And just looking at the ranges here, so far today, 103 pips at the 37th percentile. So you see for the week, we had 2 pairs, or 2 days where the range was, 65 or at the 65 percentile or higher, so upper third. Yesterday, there's only 2 out of the last 100 days that had a bigger range. Something had to give, right? And you can see here high minus close, close minus low. You see only 9 pips off the bottom right now. Yesterday, only 4. So it actually closed in the rat zone, which it doesn't do that too often, as you can see here on these other days for the week. And here on the upside, once again, it just usually doesn't close in the rat zone. That's why it's the rat zone. And on a simple trading chart here, just looking at the some horizontal lines, the Walmart lines. You can't see them because I have them faded, but there's the 20 line right there. We've got the mid dots highlighting inside bars. Oh, and in case you're wondering, just put up the indicator list right there. So you can pause the video if you want to load up. Actually, sometimes, I guess I should probably refresh my TRO video templates zip file because a few people have asked for it, but you just have to remember I use indicators from many different years, the donationals on some of these charts, so the templates may not work, well, won't work if you don't have those indicators. And the simple price action chart, once again, candle color at the line, not too difficult. You know, when people say, what method should I use? Should I use the rat zone, wick zone, buy zone? I usually try to steer them towards this, because then you don't have to worry about the zones. You don't have to worry about anything. You just look at candle color at the line. I mean, you don't even need the line. You just say, well, if it ends in a double low and price is moving up and it's the first line, it's crossing. You know, I mean, you could trade this without a chart, but you just need to know where price opened each hour. So is it up or down for the hour? And trade accordingly. I'm trying to remember if there was any other questions out there. No, I can't think of any. You know, for the week, we had some pretty interesting topics. I got some feedback on them. People seem to enjoy them. And I guess sometimes they might hit home and somebody gets to see, it's like, you know what? Yeah, that's what I need to work on. They work on it and they see that their trading turns around. Because a lot of times it's like an engine. You just might need a minor adjustment. Just, you know, maybe just change one thing, adjust one thing. And then I read a quote the other day that said something about, what was it, brilliance or intelligence, genius, was being able to take away everything that wasn't needed, something to that effect. So what that would mean in your trading is, if you look at your chart, if you're not using something, if you're really not using it, take it off. It's just a distraction. And you just keep doing that with each and everything till you come down to a pretty clean chart. But because of human nature, I guess we don't like clean charts sometimes. We want to see some squiggly lines and diagonal lines, something colored in, something blinking or flashing. But it's just really not necessary. It really isn't necessary. Oh, and in case you're wondering, you're going, why doesn't your 3 levels easy look like this? Because I added these to the semaphore range. So between here and here, it's 103.3 pips. The distance from the 3 ball to the current price is 9.6. And why I did that was, one, you want to make sure this number's big enough when you're trading that there's opportunity to trade. So for example, if we shift down to M1, and my chart's not wanting to cooperate at the moment here for some weird reason. And not sure why this isn't cooperating. Something has frozen. But the point I was going to make is, you can see the distance here is 2.6 pips on the range between the semaphores. That's not much of a range. That means you should stand aside and just not take that trade. Just wait for it to expand if you want to do a semaphore trade. Now, if you're doing a breakout trade, that would be something different. Now, why did that do that? So you can see here, there's just not enough room for a reversal. But if you're looking to break out, so if you wanted to go high here and short here, so when this squeezes, when the semaphore range squeezes, it usually means price is going to break out of that range. And as you can see, it broke out to the downside. So that's how I do that. So I'll probably send that out to those who have donated in the next batch. And then maybe, let's see, sometime before the end of the year, I'll put it out in a mother load and post it where I normally post code. So that's about it for the week. I hope you have enjoyed the week, and I hope it was really profitable for you. And I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. And when you come back and sit down at your platform, your trading platform, I want you to remember, keep it in your mind, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, drain the banks, and hopefully we'll see you next week. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.